the patterns that you once knew. And that's scary. And Jim Rohn's favorite word.
And we're live until. Good morning, everybody. Hey, don't forget, October 21 through 25, the 5-day challenge on creating your DMP. Go to SeanGMurphy.com/DMP 2025. All right, let's get started here. We are in Think and Grow Rich, Chapter 12, Part 2, the subconscious mind. We didn't get very far yesterday, which is not surprising. So I hope everybody's doing well. Let's see if I can take that down a little bit, soften that. Yeah, the subconscious mind. Pretty amazing. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? What's going on here? Okay, we'll fix that later. Something's squirrely about my camera. No, Sean, it's just you. You're squirrely. Okay, I get it. All right, so here we are. Intelligence for the power. Okay, so that's a whole big sentence. We're recapping a little bit. The subconscious mind works day and night. Shocker. Through the method of procedure unknown to man, the subconscious mind draws upon the forces of infinite intelligence for the power with which it voluntarily transmutes one's desires into their physical equivalent. How does it voluntarily do that? What is the methodology? What is the purpose behind our subconscious? Why do we have it? Why do we have this subconscious capability? Right? Well, first of all, because it'd be hard to think about having to beat your heart, because most people be walking around flat out on the ground. They had to think about beating their heart, different things. All of the millions and trillions of functions that the body does without us even knowing, right? Exchanging CO2 and oxygen, all that stuff. One's desires into the physical equivalent, making use always of the most practical media by which this end may be accomplished. That's the key. All too often when we set a goal up, when we set a dream up and we want to have success, we think we know what the heck is going on. We think we want to tell the universe how our goal is going to come about. We don't have an idea. We do not have an idea. We got an inkling, we got a vision, we got a desire, and then we have to be able to let the universe turn it over to us. I can promise you, we have the absolute most phenomenal influence over ourselves. We can control our temperature. We can control our blood flow. We can control our energy. We can control our digestion. We can control our immune system. Yeah, we can control all of that if we have the desire to. You cannot entirely control your subconscious, yet you can voluntarily hand over to it any plan, desire, or purpose which you have transformed into concrete form. That, ladies and gentlemen, right there is underlined in red in my book. That's underlined in red in my book right there. Because it says you cannot entirely control your subconscious mind, yet, it says but, I don't enjoy using that word. Yet you can voluntarily hand over to it any plan, any desire or purpose which you wish transformed into concrete form. Anything you have right now that's in concrete form came via your subconscious programming. Oh, well, I wouldn't want to be miserable. I wouldn't want to be this. I wouldn't want to be fill in the blank. Read again the instructions on using the subconscious mind in the chapter on autosuggestion. Autosuggestion. Here we go. There is plenty of evidence to support the belief that the subconscious mind is the connecting link between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence. It is the intermediary. If you've ever been to arbitration, if you've ever had somebody step in to try to calm or ease a disagreement between you and somebody else, intermediary, the arbitrator, that's what your subconscious is between you and the infinite intelligence. It is constantly, continuously, all the time, 24/7, communicating with the infinite intelligence, telling it exactly what you want, this being wants, this frequency wants. Think you can, think you can, think you can, think you can't. Either way, you're right. It is the intermediary through which one may draw upon the forces of the infinite intelligence at will. At will. It alone contains the secret process by which the mental impulses are modified and changed into their spiritual equivalent. It alone is the medium through which prayer may be transmitted to the source capable of answering prayer. The possibilities of created effort connected with the subconscious mind are stupendous and imponderable. I think either I've read this a lot or we may have read this yesterday. They inspire one with awe. I never approached the discussion of the subconscious without a feeling of littleness or inferiority, due to perhaps to the fact that man's entire stock of knowledge on this subject is so pitifully limited. The very fact that the subconscious mind is the medium of communication between the thinking mind of man and infinite intelligence, of itself a thought which almost paralyzes one's reason. Oh, because we got down to the bottom. Okay, there's the little sticker I was looking for. We did read this yesterday. See, my subconscious just clued me in and said, wake up, Skippy. After you have accepted the reality, after you have accepted the reality of existence of the subconscious mind and understand its possibilities as the medium for transmuting your desires into their physical and monetary equivalent, you will comprehend the full significance of the instructions given to you in the chapter on desire. You will also know why we have been repeatedly astonished to make your desires clear and reduce them to writing. If you have not written out a goal, your DMP, something, and read it regularly, you need the atoms coming off of that paper into your brain saying, I created that. That's my goal. That's my reason. That's my desire. I promise you, your life is going to struggle. We're going to fix that on October 21 through 25. We're going to help you write it out. Okay, the 13 principles are the stimuli with which you acquire the ability to reach and to influence your subconscious mind. Do not become discouraged if you cannot do this upon the first attempt. Remember that the subconscious mind may be voluntarily directed only through habit. You may say habit. I say habit. Only through a habit. Habit. Under the directions given in the chapter on faith. You have not yet had time to master faith. Be patient. Be persistent. A good many statements in the chapters on faith and autosuggestion will be repeated here for your benefit of the subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious mind functions voluntarily, whether you make any effort to influence it or not. This naturally suggests to you that thoughts of fear and poverty and all negative thoughts serve as stimuli to your subconscious mind until you master these impulses and give it more desirable food on which it may feed. Oh, that's so big. How does your subconscious mind get influenced every day? The subconscious mind will not remain idle. If you fail to plant desires in your subconscious mind, it will feed upon the thoughts which reach it as a result of your neglect. We have already explained that thought impulses, both negative and positive, are reaching the subconscious mind continuously from 4 sources, which we mentioned in the chapter on sex transmutation. For the present, it is sufficient if you remember that you are living daily in the midst of all manner of thought impulses which are reaching your subconscious mind without your knowledge. Some of these impulses are negative, some of them are positive. You are now engaged in trying to help shut off the flow of negative impulses and to aid in voluntarily influencing your subconscious mind through positive impulses of desire. When you achieve this, you will possess the key which unlocks the door to your subconscious mind. So let's say that again. For the present, it is sufficient if you remember that you are living daily. You are living daily in the midst of all manner of thought impulses which are reaching your subconscious mind without your knowledge. So, just to give you a little insight, we take in about 20 million bits of data per second. 20 million bits of data per second through all of our senses. The eyes, these holes in your head, take in 2 million bits of information per eye per second. That's 4 million bits right there in those 2 little orbs. You're paying attention to the sound in the room, the temperature in the room, the sturdiness of your chair, the comfiness of your bed, the weight of your blanket, the feel of your clothes. How many of us have ever had, the little plastic thing they hold the tag on in your clothes? Drop a PT in the tap for the plastic tag. If you've ever had one of those in your clothes and you're like, "Ooh, what is this in the back? What's in the back of my neck?" And it was one of those little plastic tags, right? You know what I'm talking about? So my point is that if your whole body knows your shirts and knows what it should be like to wear a shirt so well that a little tiny plastic tag, less than 1% of the entire volume that's touching your body, causes you irritation, how many of you can feel a fly land on your arm? How many of you feel a mosquito after it bites you? My point is that your body is taking in all of this, all of it. Now, we are conscious. Here's the thing, 20 million bits of data. 20 million bits of data. 20 million bits of data per second. We're conscious of 30 to 40. Here's another thing to remember. Everything that you say, everything that's been said to you, and everything that you do, and everything that's been done to you has been recorded in your brain. That which you repeat on a regular basis becomes permanent. That, ladies and gentlemen, should make you just go, huh. Everything is recorded. That which you repeat on a regular basis becomes permanent. The brain stores it because it's always looking for, will this kill me? Or how fast can I recognize the pattern? This is so good. So good. For the present, it is sufficient to remember that you are living daily and in the midst of manner of thought impulses which are reaching your subconscious mind without your knowledge. Some of these impulses are negative, some are positive. You are now engaged in trying to help shut off the flow of negative impulses and to aid in voluntarily influencing your subconscious mind through positive impulses of desire, autosuggestion, what you listen to, the frequencies that you're around, the people that you're around, the way you interpret the people that are around you if you can't change the people around you. When you achieve this, you will possess the key that unlocks the door to your subconscious mind. Moreover, you will control that door so completely that No undesirable thought may influence your subconscious mind. If you get mad, you don't have control over your conscious mind. And if you don't have control over your conscious mind, what do you think your subconscious mind is feeding, being fed, is eating on? Your frustration, aggravation goes, oh, this is how they are. This is who they are. This is what they are. This is how, when they are. So we need to give them more voluntarily. Your subconscious mind conjures up, connects to, asks the infinite intelligence as the medium between the finite and the infinite. And you get more aggravation and more frustration and more people in your business who are doing amazing, more people in your business who aren't doing amazing, more people in your business that easily sign up, more people in your business that easily don't sign up. This is all of your subconscious doing. Everything which man creates begins in the form of a thought impulse, not necessarily the thought impulse, pre-thought. A man can create nothing which he does not first conceive in thought. Through the aid of the imagination, thought impulses may be assembled into plans. The imagination, when under control, may be used for the creation of plans or purposes that lead one's success into one's chosen occupation. Visualization. That's visualization. See, if you're reading your DMP, you're talking about the price you will pay. All of that happens inside of your definite major purpose. All thought impulses intended for the transmutation into their physical equivalent, voluntarily planted in the subconscious mind, may pass through the imagination, visualization, and be mixed with faith. The mixing, quote unquote, the mixing of faith with a plan or purpose intended for submission to the subconscious mind may be done only through the imagination. For these statements, you will readily observe that voluntarily use of the subconscious mind calls for coordination and application of all the principles. Eller Wheeler Wilcox, glad I don't have to call her out at the bingo. Eller Wheeler Wilcox, come to the front, gave evidence of her understanding of these powers of the subconscious mind when she wrote, here's her little poem, "You can never tell what a thought will do in bringing you hate or love. For thoughts are things, and their airy wings are swifter than carrier doves. They follow the law of the universe. Everything creates its kind. Each thing creates its kind. And they speed o'er the track to bring you back whatever went out from your mind." Miss Wilcox understood the truth that thoughts which go out from one's mind also embedded themselves deeply in one's subconscious mind, where they serve as the magnet, pattern, or blueprint by which the subconscious mind is influenced while transmitting them into their physical equivalent. While translating them into their physical equivalent. Thoughts are truly things, for the reason that every material thing begins in the form of thought energy. Everything you have, everything you see, everything you touch, first was a thought. Your clothes were a thought. Your tabletop was a thought. Your camera was a thought. Your phone was a thought. Everything, 100+% of everything you have was first thought before it was thing. And with that being true, everything you want will first be driven by thought. And here's the fun part. Everything you have, emotion, physical, feeling, the amount of energy, your wellness, your health, your weight, every one of those is the thought you have that produced the thing you have. Every that's why when we say congratulations, it's your thought. Everything you have is your thought. Everything you have is your responsibility. Everything. Not the good, not the bad thing. Well, but those are bad things. Those weren't my thoughts. Your thinking made it bad. It's not necessarily bad. It could be worse, right? It could be worse. So then that's not so bad. Your thinking makes it so. You're successful compared to who? Well, I'm not so successful. Your thinking makes it so. I'm overweight compared to who? You have to give your mind exactly what you want. Too many people are offering vague, and they won't do it. They won't do it. They won't write it down. They won't take the time. That's childish. I don't do that anymore. Really? How's it working for you? The subconscious mind is more susceptible to the influence by impulses of thought mixed with feeling, or emotion. That's why when you're mad and aggravated and agitated and frustrated and upset and you're just so ticked off, that's the greatest time to manifest. If something gets under your skin and causes you to boil over, that's the best time to manifest because you are manifesting. How many times do we know type a W in for the wall when your back is up against the wall that you really come up with an idea? That's manifesting at a high energy of frequency of vibration. We just happen to call you mad and you're backed up against the wall, but you've only figured things out when you get against the wall. Why wait till you have to get your back up against the wall? The subconscious mind is more susceptible to influence of impulses of thought mixed with feeling or emotion than by those originating solely from the reasoning portion of one's mind. Well, that should happen. I think that should happen. No, you got to add some feeling, baby. You got to get wound up. You got to get excited. In fact, there's so much evidence. In fact, there's so much evidence to support this theory that only emotionalized thoughts have any action influence upon the subconscious mind. It is a well-known fact that emotion or feeling rules the majority of people. If it is true that the subconscious mind responds more quickly, very quickly, to the influence and is influenced more readily by thought impulses which are mixed with emotion, it is essential to become familiar with the more important of the emotions. There are seven. There are seven major positive emotions and seven major negative emotions. The negatives voluntarily inject themselves. Excuse me. Can I get in here? Excuse me. I'm a negative emotion. I need to be up front, baby. The negatives voluntarily inject themselves into thought impulses, which ensure passage to the subconscious mind. They're constantly, if you've ever seen trains in India, you ever see people like there's, I don't know, 100 seats on a car and there's 500 people on the train, literally on top of the train, hanging off the sides of the train. They're all wonderful people. You can use that visual as how the negatives jump on to the train, jump on to your impulses, jump on to your thoughts. The positive mind must inject. Good on you, sit on. I told you to sit on because I love you. Gotta be positive when you tell negative to take a hike. I love what I get to do. The positives must be injected through the principle of autosuggestion. Do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again, say it again, listen to it again. I've listened to it 100 times. You got to listen to it 100 more times. Autosuggestion into the thought impulses which individual wishes to pass on to his subconscious mind. Instructions have been given in the chapter on autosuggestion. These emotions or feeling impulses may be likened to yeast in a loaf of bread because they constitute the action element, which transforms thought impulses from passive to the active state. Emotion, passive to the active state. Thus, one may understand why thought impulses, which have been mixed with emotion, are acted on more readily than the thought impulses originating in cold reasoning. You are preparing yourself to influence and control your inner audience. You know, when I talk about who's on stage, for those of you that may not have heard this before, my YouTube folks, I ask people to imagine being on stage. Now, I understand some of you might be a little nervous of the thought of even going on stage and standing in front of people. Well, let me be very clear. You are already have this stage, and you already have an audience called your thoughts, called your feelings, called your emotions. You know, I've asked this before. How many emotions do you think we have? Most often people say, oh, well, emotions, 30. You go, no, it's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. If you know the number, type it in the chat. How many people? 100? Oh, it's much bigger than that. Emotions? Yeah, emotions we have named. Now imagine if you have an audience and the only thing in the audience are all of your emotions, all of the variabilities, all of the possibilities of your emotions. You know how big an arena you would need? You would have to seat 35,000 individuals. Say what? 35,000 emotions we've ticked off. So you are preparing to influence the control over your inner audience. That's why when you start new goals, when you start new dreams, things show up that have never showed up before. Those are emotions that got triggered and called from the back. Attention in the back. Emotions we've never used before, please show up. We need to stop this, because the brain loves two things. Will this kill me, or how fast could I recognize the pattern? We don't know this pattern, so could you come in and please stop this right away? You'll get sick. Literally, the fastest thing that'll happen to your body is you will get sick. For those of you who have been OGs in here, you knew that when some of the people that worked directly with me would have amazing breakthroughs, they would get sick. Some of them would be incapacitated for 3 days, laying on the ground in their bed, laying on the ground of the floor with their feet up because of cramps or constipation. 3 days, sick. People have come to the ranch and had breakthrough after breakthrough, and took them 40 hours to get home. The TSA closed and they had to spend the night in the airport. How does the TSA close? It would take them a day. It would take them hours longer, because when you have a breakthrough that is so powerful, your subconscious, because you have programmed it to fight for your right. I don't know what the rest of that song is. Fight for your right to party. That's it. And in doing so, your subconscious will conjure up the most amazing, the most incredible, the most fantastical thing to keep you stuck. Why? Because you said, I ain't changing. Well, I didn't want that. I wanted the thing to change. I know, but you didn't set the story up. Well, I told it when I got home. I mean, I was doing my work. No, you got to set it up today. You got to set it up the day before, the week before, every day you have to step into the new being of who you're becoming, because today you are the new being. You've got to start preparing your body for the tomorrow being. In the now. You can't prepare tomorrow for today. Can't prepare tomorrow for tomorrow. It's too late. It's too late. Welcome to most people's success model. Here we go. Oh, this is so good. I want to get to the 7 emotions. You are preparing yourself to control the inner audience, So, yeah. Your subconscious mind, otherwise we'll spend 3 hours talking about the inner audience. The inner audience of your subconscious mind, in order to hand over the desire for money, which you transmuted, your subconscious mind, in order to hand over the desire for money, which you wish transmuted into its monetary equivalent, it is essential that you understand the method of approach to the inner audience. You must speak its language, or it will not heed your call. It understands best the language of emotion or feeling. Let us, Therefore, describe the 7 major positive emotions and the 7 major negative emotions so that you may draw upon the positive and avoid the negative when giving instructions to your subconscious mind. Number 1, the emotion of desire. Most people can't even begin to understand what the hell that is. The emotion of desire. If you question that, we got some work to do. It would serve you well to allow me to put the bumper rails up on the bowling alley lane of desire so you stop going into the ditches, and let me help you with that. The emotion of faith, you probably have that one. The emotion of love, the emotion of sex, the emotion of enthusiasm, the emotion of romance, and the emotion of hope. Can you hopefully romance enthusiastically with the same amount of energy that you would have towards wanting and wishing and hoping for intimate relations with another? To have love and faith so that you can fire up this burning desire. Wouldn't that be great? There are other positive emotions, yet these are the most 7 powerful ones, and the ones that most commonly are used in creative effort. Master these 7 emotions. They can be mastered only by use. And the other positive emotions will be at your command when you need them. Remember that this is a connection that, remember, in this connection, you are studying a book which is intended to help you develop money consciousness by filling your mind with positive emotions. One does not become money conscious by filling one's mind with negative emotions. Here's the negative emotions. Here's the negative emotions: fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, and anger. Positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind at the same time. One or the other must dominate. It is your responsibility to make sure that the positive emotions constitute the dominating influence in your mind. Here, the law of habit will come to your aid. Form the habit of applying and using positive emotions. Eventually, they will dominate your mind so completely that the negative ones cannot enter. We are going to end right there. Oh, this is so good. 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 Questions, comments, thoughts, takeaways. We got 20 minutes. 23 minutes. I love you. Oh, I love you. 50 years of reading this. Oh, I love you, love you, love you. Good morning. How do I control my thoughts? Why would you want to? How equals human. You ask a how question, how equals human. You ask a how question, how equals human. Nothing wrong with a how question. It's the most searched word used on Google. You know why people you know why people still have to keep searching for how to lose weight when we have 70% of the population overweight? Because they're not turning the how into their humanness. They're not turning the how. How do I get healthy? How equals human. How do I lose weight? How equals human.
So should you never ask how?
You can ask how.
We are human, right? So I'm not understanding when you're saying that.
People are not converting the how, the strategy, into human. They just keep doing the strategy and checking the boxes. I did my blessings each morning. Why don't I have any benefit? Because you're not making it human. You're not making it you. You're doing the how. You're doing the strategy. You're doing the thing so you can justify. I say you editorially, you are doing the thing so you can justify that you did the thing and it doesn't work because your subconscious mind.
How do I make it human? I just
emotion. Adding emotion, desire, love, enthusiasm, repetition. That's how you make it human.
I see.
If I stood you on the ground 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, actually 3 years ago, if I stood you on the ground where you picked up Amelia, if I stood you on the ground, would it be fair to say that if I put your feet in the exact same spot as when you picked up the baby lamb, Would it be feasible for me to say that your emotion would not be the same if you were standing in the exact same spot? And
Well,
there
there
was no
wouldn't have been
lambs, there was no babies, there was no nothing.
yeah, no, of course not.
Okay,
No,
so
that makes sense.
that's how you make it human. You are in the exact same strategy of the exact same spot on the ranch, and there was nothing to make it emotional. It's the emotion that makes it so. You even seeing the lamb before you picked it up, you were, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. In the exact same strategy, the only thing that made it different was the emotion. Your interpretation, your visualization, your anticipation. So that's how you make the how human. It's the anticipation of it arriving, the want, the desire, the love of it, the anticipation of it. Most people can't anticipate their goal. They can't even visualize it because they don't take the time to do that. Oh, I'm too busy. 2 hours of meditation. I'm too busy. So that's how you take the how into human.
Oh, okay. I now get it. I now get it. But and we're also different because someone stood in the same space and saw Amelia, but they were not excited the way I was.
Right. So that's not something I would suggest them to use as an emotional trigger to raise their vibration. That's why training, when people how, you know who gives the answers? People who think they know they have the answer. We search Google. Oh, how do I enroll people in network marketing? Somebody who's enrolled a lot of people. You get their how, you don't get their human. This is what Mark Victor Hansen said to me, the author with Jack Canfield of Chicken Soup for the Soul. All of those books sold 600, maybe now 700 million books. The number one selling author by far, period. Said, give them all you got. Like, why, as a trainer and a speaker, Mark, I can't give them all I got, because if I give them all I got, they got everything I got. No. You can give them all you got. They can't do anything with it because they ain't got you. They need you to do something with it. They need you to convert it. They need you to speak Sean to this message so that they can turn it into them. So that's the biggest problem, is people how themselves to death and they never human themselves at all. Well, how do I enroll people? Very well. Why do you ask? How do I get to $1,000 a month income? Very well. Why do you ask? We give them strategy. Well, you got to talk to people. I don't want to talk to people. See, you give them the strategy and then they reject it because it forces them to become human and talk to people. How equals human. And we as instructors hardly ever, rarely do we ever take the how and turn it into their humanness.
Oh, I now totally understand. I didn't, I take it the entire time you've been saying this, I didn't understand when you said how means equals human. I would always think that was a bad thing because you would say that's strategy. But now, for the very first time, I don't know, maybe I'm just slow, but
No, I promise you, there's people who still don't get it, who are listening to this.
well, I guess that's kind of
that's their how, baby.
pacifying for me. That I finally understand exactly what you're saying, because I thought it was a negative thing.
No, the farthest thing from negative.
Oh, wow. Okay. You just blew my mind.
So now when you have a that's why, see, this is why most of you giggle when I say that phrase. It'll now mean something to you, Silk. I hope it means something to you different. How do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask? Because if I give them the next thing I give them, if it's not human, they will find a way to reject it. Because they're human. Their humanness can't see the thing. If they're asking how, their human can't do it. Their being can't do it. If you are asking how, it's because your being is not frequencied, wired, trained to do the human part of it.
Yes.
How do I lose weight? You become human and say, my body is worth, my life is worth more healthy than it is sick. Yet we want to, because we think we're doing them so good because we're trained in how. We're trained in how, that if somebody asks how, we want recognition, we want validation, and we will give them a how. Here's the best how I know. It's the crappiest how in the world for them. I don't care if it works 100. Somebody sent me a text this morning. Somebody's trading gold. Gold is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's awesome. There's volatility. You can make money in up. You can make money in down. It's volatility out the yin and the yang. It went from $4,050 yesterday to $39.50. People lost their houses and other people bought mansions yesterday, depending upon how you positioned yourself, depending upon how you showed up and how you read the charts. Somebody made 40K this morning on gold. How do you do that? That's a different question. You buy right and sell correctly. How? Oh, did they buy? See, if you're asking how, you're asking for strategies. The way you figure all of that out is you become human and decide you want to make money in gold. How did they get to the highest rank in their network marketing business? You have to become somebody different. Not them, you, but somebody different for you. You have to, through auto-suggestion, you have to become that person. And most of us, because of the things that influence us regularly, the phone, the scrolling, oh my gosh, they just went to a new thing. She went on a new trip, the blah, 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 blah. And people no longer want to become human. They want to stay stuck in how, and we lock them up there. Here's how you do it. Why would you ever want to do a how? To change who I am, then how equals human.
Wow. Now I get it. Now I get it. Wow.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah. So now you understand why it sounds like I might be, it might sound like I'm a jerk when people say, how do you do that? I ask, well, what do you want to know? Oh, well, that's just being arrogant. Can't you tell them the answer? No, I can't. I got no answer for you, Skippy. None. Let me think. None. Why don't you have any answers? You've been doing this for 40 years. Oh, I got plenty. I got plenty of responses, but not one of those responses is going to be an answer you will own. You have to own your own answers, Junior. Oh, well, can't you just tell me? No. I used to. Cost me $80,000. $80,000. I went through the class of teaching people how. Cost me 80 grand. My first year in network marketing. My
Most
first
expensive how ever. Most expensive how ever, right?
Yeah. And then I learned, and I no longer use how. That's when I came up with the phrase. How does it work? Well, if I gave you the answer, is it a reason to get started or an excuse not to? What? I want to know how to do it. Well, is it so you can get started or so you can say, this isn't for me? How much is it? How much is it? Right? Nobody said, how much is it? How much time does it take? How much human do I have to change to spend my time? How much human do I have to become to put money into this thing? You get it? You see it? Yeah. Drop a 1 in the chat if you all are getting this. How much? How much is it? What does that matter? Oh, my course is too expensive. For what? The Halloween evil laugh. Well, how do I change it? Easily. But the key is, so here's the how. Here's the strategy. You're getting it inside of Think and Grow Rich. You're getting it inside of Science of Getting Rich. It is a requirement that you change the how you do your day. Oh, that's uncomfortable. What's the thing I tell everybody when they get out of the shower? What's the one thing I suggest everybody do daily or twice a day, depending upon how you bathe yourself? Dry yourself off differently. You want to start to change. You want to have the biggest impact and start the frequency in your brain, start the subconscious training in your brain. Dry yourself off differently. Why it brings you to the focus. It brings you to the moment going, okay, how did I dry myself off yesterday? How did I dry myself off yesterday? What human was here yesterday? And what human will show up today? What? How is human? Who else? Thoughts, conversations, comments, questions, take with yous, takeaways. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, everybody. Who, what, when, why, how? It's you. All the babies are separated now. Teddy, I heard these noises. I was working on the fence. I was fixing all the fencing. Teddy and Zorro are in a pen together, and I heard this clashing. Bam! They're doing what rams do, you know, not kind of like the National Geographic where you see those two big rams and they bang their heads and it sounds like a bomb going off. This was a little like somebody popped a bag. Different. And I look over and they're button heads and they're playing and they're it's so cool. Anyway, so that's fun. And then all the baby girls are together. The four of them, and the moms are with Guinness. That's the second time I called Gizmo Guinness. Guinness is an old Australian sheepdog that we used to have. One of the first dogs Michelle and I got together as a couple. Guinness and Bailey. Those were their names. Anyway, so yeah, all the ladies are with Gizmo, and Gizmo's happy. Questions, comments, thoughts, takeaways, take with yous. Going once. Going twice. Seriously, no questions. Okay. All right. I hope everybody has an amazing, fun-filled day. Today's Friday. Tomorrow we've got a bunch of campers coming in. Yeah. Well, let's do maybe we'll do a teaser. Maybe I'll do a training teaser on the DMP 5-day challenge. This way I can have additional piece of marketing material. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do tomorrow DMP, kind of a teaser for the 5-day challenge, and we'll go from there. So I'm your head brain scrambling misfit. Let's go have some DMP fun. I'll see y'all where?
The next event.
At the next event.
The next event. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Pura vida.
Vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
Peace be with us all. And the queen of helping you set up your human to help turn your how into success, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
We love you, girl. And some little white fluffy.
Gurgly.
We love you, Fee. All right, everybody, go have some fun today. I will see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Bring your friends. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sean. Love you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.